Hello everyone. Today we'll see the story of Rama. So there's a very interesting story, and if you don't know the story, maybe you know it already. If you don't know the story, just listen in and see if there are any parts you already knew, or if there was something new to learn. I will speak to children who are listening, but the adults can also listen to the story of Rama. Okay. Many years ago, so this person here, his name is Valmiki, and Valmiki wrote the Ramayana story. He wrote the story of Rama. Okay, so many years before the story began, there was a sage called Kashyapa. Different people call him by different names, but then he's also the same person who's responsible for the word Kashmir. So Kashmir comes from Kashyapa, and then Kashyapa had many wives and many children, and many people, species were born from Kashyapa, and one among them was a king called Raghu, and then everyone who was, and then he had many children, and then so on and so forth, and then there was this king called Dasharatha, very famous king called Dasharatha. Okay, Ratha means chariot, and Dasha means 10. So 10 chariots. His name was 10 chariots. Right? Actually, there's a deeper meaning that he was very smart and he could control, a lot of things that happen in the brain and all of that. That's what the meaning is. But anyway, for our story, his name is Dasharatha, and he did not have children, and he was worried about. He was a king, and he was a king of a place called Ayodhya. Ayodhya is in India, in northern part of India. Even now, if you go to Google Maps and you search for this Ayodhya spelling, you will find Ayodhya. So story starts here. This is King Dasharatha. He's got 3 wives, Kaushalya, Sumitra, and Kaikai. And with these 3 wives, they're doing, look at this, they're doing this, they're offering a prayer, and they're worshipping, and this Rishi here, who's performing this, is Rishyashringa. He's actually Dasharatha's son-in-law. Anyway, so they're doing this puja, this prayer, and they're asking for a child. And then this person, this divine person here, brings paisam or kheer, and then all the king, the queens have it, and then they wanted children, and then each one of them gets, you see, these 4 children are born: Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna. So first one in green is Rama, and then you have Bharata, and then you have Lakshmana and Shatrughna were twins. They were born to Sumitra. Bharata's mother was Kaikai, and Rama's mother was Kaushalya. So if you have heard Kaushalya, Supraja, Rama, if you have heard that Kaushalya's son Rama, that's how we remember it. Anyway, so I keep saying Rama, and then some people have a confusion. What is the correct spelling? Should we say Ram, or Rama, or Ramudu, or Ramar, or Raman? Which one is correct, right? Different people say it differently. All are correct. It just depends on which language. So if you're speaking in Hindi, you're probably going to call him as Ram, Bhagwan Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, Ram. If you read it in Sanskrit, you will say Rama. And then in Kannada, in Telugu, it will be Rama. In Telugu, you can also say Ramudu in a different form, right? Or Rama, Ramudu. Ramar is more Tamil, and Raman, Tamil or Malayalam. So different language endings are there, and that's why it is like that. Okay? So you see, Bharata Natyam, like that. So It always changes. Natya, Natya, Natyam. Like that, it keeps changing. All these words keep changing. That's not our concern. So, whichever name you know Rama as, this is his story, right? Okay, anyway, back to the story. The 4 children were born, and then after some time, they went to nursery, they went to school. And then look, this is their teacher, and he's teaching him how to write. So their Aksharabhyasa started. So all the queens are sitting here, Dasharatha is there. They're very, very happy that all 4 children have started their education. And that is why you have Saraswati over here, who is the goddess of knowledge. And they're all praying to Saraswati, and they start their education. That is what is happening in this scene. Okay. Now we'll switch to the next part of the story in the next video. Okay. So far, just to recap, Dasharatha had no children, and then 4 children were born. They grew up to this age, and they started their education. We'll meet you in the next video.